All right, so summer is here. That means many of us are taking advantage of all this wonderful warm outdoor activities, hiking, camping. But you know what? The heat also brings out the bugs. Yes, scientists say because of 2 really warm winters in a row, there's been a rise in the number of ticks. In fact, this is set to be the worst tick season in years. Along with those little ticks come some dangerous diseases that affect us humans. Lyme disease. It can cause headaches, eventually lead to meningitis, and that's just one of the illnesses that ticks can carry. It's not all doom and gloom. There are ways you can protect yourself. I'm joined by Dr. Nina Shapiro of UCLA, who came in after her wonderful July 4th long weekend. I hope you had a great time. Why? So it's been a couple of hot winters. That means there's more acorns. That means there's more mice, and mice are the carriers, right?
Exactly. So this tick season of 2017 was known about in 2015 when there were this surge of acorn trees and acorns. Mice love acorns. Happy mice. They live longer because of these 2 warm winters. And now we have all these mice. We usually think of deer as carrying the ticks, but it's actually mice that are the carriers for ticks this season.
Okay, so in terms of the chances of getting bitten or attached to by a tick, is it fairly common and very easy to happen?
So tick bites are pretty common, and they're more common in wooded areas, more common in the East Coast, and now it's moving west in the Midwest as well. But getting a tick bite does not necessarily mean that you're going to have Lyme disease or you're going to have some other horrible illness. So
but you want to, if you do get bitten, you want to address it. Just remove it, or how does that work?
So you don't. So classically, we used to say you used to burn off the tick or use a little bit of nail polish. But what you want to do, and it's really great, is you take a little tweezers and you take the tick off, and you want to make sure you get the head, just like removing a splinter.
Yes.
And if you get the tick off within 24 hours, 36 hours, you are very low likelihood of getting Lyme disease.
Do you still need to go and check with your medical professional?
If it's off within several hours, you should be fine, assuming you're worried about Lyme disease.
But right, because let's just be honest, these little fellas can carry a litany of other things as well. It's not just Lyme disease.
That's correct. There's something called Powassan virus, which acts very quickly, goes through the tick in a matter of a few hours, and Powassan virus is potentially deadly, and you can't necessarily treat it with antibiotics, which you can for Lyme disease.
Now that we've scared the bejesus out of you, let's have Dr. Shapiro tell you there's some easy things that we can do to watch out, because we like to go camping. We don't want to stay indoors. We don't want to keep our kids indoors during the summer. What can we do?
Right. So there's several things to do. And first, and also I want to say that just because you get a tick doesn't mean that it's going to carry
that's very important to underline.
Bacteria or viruses. Most of them actually don't.
Okay.
So, but there are ways to protect yourself. DEET, which is an insect repellent, is actually safe.
It is safe because we have all echoes of like, wait, that stuff's terrible for you.
But you can use even up to 30% DEET for children. The American Academy of Pediatrics does say that DEET is safe. So that's one thing, insect repellents. When your children, especially if they're out playing in the woods, when they come inside, you always want to do a tick check.
Okay.
So you want to take off their clothes, check for ticks, and then put their clothes actually in the dryer. And the dryer will actually kill any ticks that are on their clothes.
And adults, you can do that for one another.
Exactly.
Know each other.
Make it fun.
And then obviously I understand there's some insecticide protective clothing you can wear if you're a hiker or somebody that spends a lot of time in the woods.
Right. So if you're a hiker, you want to wear long sleeves, long pants, and a hat. That's a good protection. And there are also some materials you can use. Permethrin, which is used normally what we think of for lice shampoos. You can use it on your clothes.
And there's safe versions of that.
It's safe, and you can pre-treat your clothes with that, and children as well.
See, I didn't want to just scare the life out of you. I want to make sure you have tools so you can go out there and enjoy the great outdoors.
Not just tweezers.
And not just tweezers, because you can walk around with those tweezers. Dr. Nina Shapiro, a delight to have you here.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.